Hi, future me. So, just had a bit of a revelation with Cindy. So, this about a month to 6 weeks or so, um, it's been a bit challenging because my company has been acquired by American company, and a lot of people were made redundant. I've seen a lot of friends leave work. A lot of changes. My job role has been changing and I'm moving things around, which means that I'm gaining different types of work and I'm giving away work that I'm more familiar with. And it's just been a bit of a challenging time at work. So, been thinking a lot about how to navigate this change first of all, and second of all, where do I see myself in the future, where my career is kind of moving towards. So I was listening to the Jay Shetty podcast on the way home today, and he really talks about having this sabbatical time off, maybe a gap month or a transitioning month, or maybe like a year out or something like that. And got me thinking about, if I were to steer myself in a position where I would like to be in the future, well, what would that look like and where would I like to go? So my goals are one to I would really like to be in the richest 1% of the UK. And the other thing is that if I'm going to be a dad, I really like to be able to pass on information. Like my second goal is to really pass on the knowledge I've learned of being alive to my kids, my family, and my friends. So, keeping those two things in my mind, me and my sister had a chat, and I was just basically trying to process things in my head. And what I've really learned recently is that I've actually really enjoyed passing knowledge. So something I do when I'm facing a troubling time is I go see my counsellor. So I've been seeing a counsellor on and off for about 2 years now, and I had like a bulk of 6 sessions 2 years ago, which really helped. And I really felt like there was a time before the counselling and a time after counselling. And more recently, I've got in contact with her, and I was like, I'm having these challenges. I really just want to talk things through about how to navigate this change. And as I come home and as friends ask me more about it, I really enjoyed sharing that knowledge. I've really enjoyed helping other people see things in a different perspective. So I think what I'm going to do more is document the counselling session. So what I do when I'm in counselling is that after the session, I find a place to sit down, like a coffee house or a pub or somewhere to get lunch. And after food, I basically write down my key takeaways from the session, from the counselling session, the therapy session. I basically write down the key takeaways, how I feel about it, what went well, what didn't go so well, what made me feel really vulnerable, um, things that my counsellor said that made me really think, and then my overall thoughts of the session. So when I've been doing that and I've seen in my day to day there's an opportunity for me to practice what was said, I kind of think, oh, okay, yeah, I've discussed this before with my counsellor, I'm going to do it now. And when I can explain that to people when they're having a problem, that's really given me a great sense of purpose, I guess, from the podcast I'm listening to. Jay Shetty, his podcast is On Purpose. If you don't yet, check him out. Um, and I've never really thought of purpose in that way before. So that's an interesting perspective that I'm experimenting with. And so, yeah, basically, to get back onto my original point, really hit a revelation that even though I currently document the challenges, the journey, the backwards engineering of the challenge. So sometimes I see a problem and I'm like, crap, I've never had to face this before. What do I need to do? And I might go on the internet, find possible answers. I might look for advice, and they're never that great. So the skill, I guess, or the beneficiary of having a counselor is like they're actually almost like my mentor, where they can help me navigate change, and they can also give me practical advice to do so. Um, so I guess what I want to do is actually publicize that advice more, rather than just keeping it in my diary for me to look at. It would be great for me to share that, if that helps. Um, if anybody feels like that might be a good idea. But also for the future me to remember that this happened, and also for my future friends and possibly even my future family. So I think that is going to be something I'm going to do more of now and again when I have time. So just, I guess, watch this space, future me, or whoever else that wants to participate.